We are currently in California, and we have been driving for half a mile and seen all these solar panels, just a ton of them.
We entered into Joshua Tree National Park, and it's a real nice park. It is huge, many roads, many trails, and we ended up having to use Starlink because we had no cell signal to get our way back out of the park.
So we are in the Cholla Cactus Garden in Joshua Tree National Park, and there are just all of a sudden, as we were driving along, there's just this field of all these cholla cactus, and these are the ones where if you get too close, you will get a spine in you. What do you call those? I'm gonna call it a spine, a little prickly
Needle.
thing, needle. There you go. Pretty cool.
So this is one that Jen took a picture of on the ground, and I think she thought one of those may have thrown that at her, but I don't think it did. And then we got one here of a bloom. It's on the end of it. It's coming up next. I had to get that picture. And then, of course, you got the selfie of both of us.
So this is just more of Joshua Tree as we drove through it. One could argue that Joshua Tree is as much about the rocks and the rock formations as it is the trees or the Cholla Cactus Garden. Um, Big, huge rocks, and then there's piles of big rocks. And I told Raymond at one point it just looked like God was just taking his hand and just playing in the sand and pulling up piles of rocks. Um, there's hills and there's mountains in the background, and then there's hills for the mountains, and the rocks were just interesting. I love rocks anyway, so some of these formations were pretty cool. And here you still see the rocks, but you're starting to see some of the Joshua trees. And I read something somewhere that some of them get to be 40 feet, and they're oddly spaced out. Like they don't want to be anywhere near any of the others. I haven't read up on Joshua trees whatsoever, so I know nothing about them. But again, the rocks and the trees, and I think that's what makes this park so unique is these trees scattered around and these piles of rocks every so often.
Yeah, the rocks just pop up out of the ground and just clumps of it, and then it's
Just
comes back down flat.
Yep, just like right there. There's just a rock formation just hanging out, just all of a sudden.
We did see one guy mountain climbing on the side of one of those big rocks,
Yep,
and I don't know if it was some places where they already had the anchors and stuff in, and he was climbing, or if he just was doing his own.
yep. And then we just took pictures. There were some good Joshua trees that we really appreciated, so we stopped and got better pictures of them. This was a really pretty one, in my opinion. Um, so, just pictures of Joshua trees.
Yep.
If you've
And
never been to this park, I suggest you go, even if it's just a day trip.
it
Um,
was a busy park. There was a lot of people in this park.
yeah, especially coming in as we were leaving.
There was actually a line of traffic trying to get checked into the office to come into there.
Yep, this is a full Joshua tree. Again, just more video of rocks and trees. We've been in the desert for 11 days. What else are we going to see?
We're about to head out of these pictures over here in a minute,
Yep.
because this is coming down off the mountain and getting more closer to La Quinta where we're staying now.
Yep.
And had the big mountain there in the background had snow on the background. You can see Starlink in our dashboard there. But we were in solar panels earlier. Now we're into wind turbines.
Yes.
There's like hundreds or thousands of them on the left, and some of them on the right side of the road. And they were large ones, small ones, and medium-sized ones.
Yeah, and they were all mixed together.
We are now driving into La Quinta, California, home of palm trees, green grass, and they keep their saying fenced in with fences. I saw it as we come off the interstate. Maybe that's not what it was, but you can definitely tell there's more water around here, apparently. So this is our campground for the night. It's pretty empty right now. I'm sure there may be more come in later, but we're right on top of the reservoir. They allow fishing here. You can't swim here, and no boats, nothing on here. You can just fish. And the people who were here just when I came up had not caught anything the 2 days they were here. And he said they do get snow melt that fills it up and rainwater, and then they do pump water into here to hold it for the city below. And this is just a snapshot of where we're at from home. And then we went out and had Mexican supper, and that burrito was huge.
And these tacos had a ton of meat in it, and the rice was amazing.
And then, of course, I found my ice cream and had ice cream, then came back to the campground. And this is kind of what our campground looked, going back towards sunset, and we missed the sunset. If you enjoyed our video, please select the subscribe and the like button below. To get to our next video, select one of the tabs. Comments are always welcome.